So this is Dave Lacatose. Dave Lacatose Art. You see it on the screen here. DaveLacatoseArt.com is the website. What I want to do today, and I'm going to do this for more of them as I go forward. As you know, or you can see from my website, I do two types of abstract art. One is a traditional acrylics on canvas and multimedia paper, but the second is what I call digital paintings. Now that term is kind of loose because there's people that paint on photographs. I saw this in a show around me here outside Philadelphia in Westchester last summer, where somebody took a photo and then took acrylic paints and painted on that photo. But they had to paint it so that it looked like the photo. In my style, you'll see here in a minute, what I do is I basically put a piece of tracing paper over the photo, and the tracing paper is my canvas. So I paint on that from what's right behind it, and you'll see that more in a minute. And I want to take you through all the steps and make sure that that you see the whole process. But basically, what I start with is this. So here's my photo. It's a mummer at in the Mummers Parade in Philadelphia every New Year's Day, and getting ready to strut his stuff down Broad Street. Guy looking on in the background. So that's my photo. Crystal clear. It's a clear photo. Wait do you see what it looks like when we're done? And now I'm going to go through the steps that I do to get that photo. Well, the first thing I do is I put a piece of tracing paper. That's the best way I can refer to it. A piece of tracing paper on top of the photo. So what you see now is the photo behind, and it's sort of a little bit shaded out, whited out, grayed out, but that's the tracing paper. So this is my final canvas. This that we're looking at right now, when I'm done, will turn into one of the digital paintings that you see on my website. It starts with a photo, and then I use all of these tools that you see here and on the left and the right side of this screen for this software. I use all the tools that I've learned how to use after 20 years, and I make my digital painting. So the first thing that I do, a lot of times, most times, is to do an outline of what it is that I'm looking for. We have the line work. We've outlined the features of the things in the photo. Okay, if you're looking at the screen, you can see that I'm making marks. And you can really see it if I take the photo away. So now the way I paint, and there's lots of different ways to paint using this software, and I call this, and the guy I learned from taught me this, he calls this his muck-up stage. So he messes everything up. So, what you have now, if you put this into a file and you said print, this is what you'd see. All this junk on the screen. So this is what I have so far, right? Remember, this is what we started with, the photo here. And now what it looks like is this. So you say to yourself, oh boy, that's not so nice. So here's the second stage, if you will, of this digital painting. Okay, I'm back. So now I have my sort of my gross canvas, which means I have the picture, I've done the line work that shows what's in the picture, and I've put gross blobs of paint of the appropriate color where they go in the picture. But by no means is this anywhere close to finished. Well, now I have to do the detail work. Now the decision comes in, hundreds of brushes that I can use. Now, obviously, I've been doing this a long time, and I have my favorites, but I always experiment with new ones and to see what they give me. And what I can do is I can go to this blank page I have over here, and I can see what a brush looks like. Now, one of the ones I'm thinking about using here is this brush. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's pick a color. What is this brush going to give me? So this brush is going to give me what you see here at that size. Obviously at this size, it gives you bigger lines. So you play with the size. There's, oh my God, I mean, there's literally, there's hundreds of brushes. Another one. I'm gonna go with one of my favorites. And then you just do this for hours and hours. And I'm not gonna make you sit through all that. So I'm gonna cut out here, and I'll come back when I'm getting closer to done. Now, I don't know if you can hear that in the background. But every time I'm putting the cursor down, I'm kind of tapping it. So I'm tapping, tap, tap, tap. You know, tap and push a line, tap and push a line, tap and push a line, because every tap is giving me that average of all the colors that are underneath where the tap is. Onto a colorful, bright color area. And I'm going to say, at this point, I think, without doing the fine detail detail that I'm going to have to do now, I think this thing is done. What's this, May of 25?